Are you tired of talking about Myles Garrett and other potential pass rushers for the Detroit Lions? Yes, you probably are. But it doesn't matter because I'm in the business of talking about the Detroit Lions and you clicked on this video. So I don't want to hear it in the comment section. I'm tired of talking about pass rushers and Myles Garrett because otherwise you wouldn't be here. And if you're here typing that comment, shame on you. Find something to do with your life. That is pretty sad. But I saw a hypothetical that we're going to go into in just a few seconds about a potential trade package that could bring Myles Garrett to the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions are in need of a pass rusher. We saw Aiden Hutchinson said that it would be deadly if the two of them played together, and I concur with that statement. But the Cleveland Browns, I do not see Myles Garrett playing for the Cleveland Browns because I think that relationship is beyond repair, irreconcilable, if you will. If you've been through a divorce, you already know. You get that irreconcilable. Basically, you don't have to have a reason here in Michigan. It doesn't matter. You just slap irreconcilable on there, and it's a done deal. And 6 months later, if you have kids, 90 days if you don't, bada boom, bada bing, you're splitting everything, and you good to go. You off to marry somebody else if that's what you want to do. But we're talking about the Detroit Lions, and we have a probably potential divorce between Myles Garrett and the Cleveland Browns. You see what I did there? I'm pretty good off the dome, man. But let's take a look. This is coming from Jeff Risden, Lions Wire, who for some reason has moi, your boy, blocked on Twitter like I did something to him. I don't know. I just gave my opinion. And you know what I realized, and is I'm prolific. When they got Reddit post about you, and everyone is talking about you, and all you do is state your opinion, I'm like, yo, I must be, there's no other Detroit Lions content creator outside of like the Detroit Lions themselves that gets as much traction as I do. Like real talk. Everybody is talking about me, so I must be doing something right. But let's take a look at what this proposal would be. Says the Lions would send the following to the Browns. Okay, 2025 first round pick, number 28, a 2025 third round pick, number 101. That's the compensatory pick we got for Aaron Glenn. A 2026 first round pick. So, okay, 2 firsts, a 2026 third round pick, 2 thirds, and defensive tackle Broderick Martin. Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Excuse me. Let me read that again because I want to make sure. Okay, a 2025 first round pick, 2025 third round picks. Okay, 2026 first, 2026. Okay, so 2 firsts, 2 thirds, and Broderick Martin. I did read that right. It ain't no way that. Okay, let me see what we would get. We would get Myles Garrett. We would get a 5th round pick, which is the one we sent Cleveland for Zadarius, and we would get a 2026 second round pick. All right, so we would give up a 1st and a 3rd this year, along with stop the cap, Broderick Martin. We would get Myles Garrett. We would get a pick, a 5th round pick, our 5th round pick back for this year, and next year 2nd. Now, would I do this? Absolutely. Would I do this? Why would the Cleveland Browns do it? Broderick Martin, are we serious? Bruh, you can't even throw that brother away. Listen, James Houston, I guarantee you we tried to trade him. It was never brought to light, but we had to be testing the market for James Houston. Why would the Cleveland Browns take Broderick Martin in any trade package? If I went to Culver's, which I did today, I went to Culver's and got me something to eat. If they tried to give me Broderick Martin on the side, I would not take the food. I would return the food. Broderick Martin. Now, would I take the deal? Absolutely. I mean, 2 firsts, 2 thirds. So essentially, we give up 3 picks. I was expecting to give up 2 firsts anyway, and kind of let Matthew Stafford trade. But you're going kind of with Matthew Stafford, we wind up getting. They got nothing but him. The Rams got nothing but Matthew Stafford. The Detroit Lions got the 2 firsts and the 3rd. So it's kind of like that. If we look at it real quick, it's kind of like that for the Cleveland Browns. So we didn't get a player. They didn't get a player. We got a pick, which turned into a player of Ife Melifonwu. So if we wind up, I was expecting these two. This is what I was expecting for. But what I would try to do is I would take this 2025 first rounder. I would bump that to 2026. I would bump the 2026 to 2027. I would give them the 2025 third round pick. And if they insisted, I would give them Broderick Martin. I would throw that in for free. I would throw in Broderick Martin for free. So to offset this third round pick here, kind of, we would wind up getting the fifth round pick here and the second round pick. This is not a bad deal. The only blemish here is this right here. That is I don't understand why any team in the National Football League would trade for Broderick Martin in any package deal. Now, if you told me that this trade would not happen without Broderick, then it's a done deal. But I just don't understand the point of Cleveland Browns trade. He might not even make the team this year. Broderick Martin might not even be on the Detroit Lions roster in 2025. Let's keep it a buck. Would I take this? I would, because you would give me, we would keep I would take this as is, but I would try to sweeten the pot. I would see if Cleveland can sweeten the pot, and I would try to push back this first. Basically take this, the 2025 first round pick, and push it down here to 2027. So they could have this year, I would give them a third round pick and Broderick Martin. Next year, they could have a first round pick and a third round pick. And then they give us, even if they gave us Myles Garrett, they could have their second round pick back. I'll take their fifth. I'll give us our fifth back. So you know what I would do? I would do this. 2026 first round pick. If they wanted the 2025 first, then I would try to finesse this deal here. I would try to take that. You have to give me Myles and two other picks. If you wanted this year's first, you have to give me two other picks, because next year, the Cleveland Browns are going to need a quarterback. This year's quarterback class it's not even a real big deal. I mean, and you have Deshaun Watson. Would it even be smart to take a quarterback this year? So push that draft capital back for next year, when you can use that draft capital to come up. As a matter of fact, check this out. Let's say the Cleveland Browns are going to suck anyway. They're going to be bad. So they're going to be picking top 10. But let's say you have a quarterback you really, really want. He's going to go first overall. And we already know that I forgot what team has the first overall pick, but they're willing to bargain for that first. Every team every year is willing to bargain for the first pick every time, because it's so, the draft capital is so high, right? So we've heard that many times before. I would, if I'm Cleveland, you know you're going to suck. You're going to be picking top 10, top 5. And if you wanted to come up and you wanted to package, you already got the first. So you want to come up to 1 or 2, but you have 5 or 6. That first round pick alone for next season might not be enough. You feel what I'm saying? So as far as, let's say you have 5, but you want to come up to 2. You might have to package something else. So if you want to come up those 3 spots, you might have to throw in another first, maybe. So you would throw in the 2026 first to come up and get the guy that you want. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't think Myles Garrett will be a Cleveland Brown. Like I told you at the beginning of this video, I think it's irreconcilable differences. I do not think that they're going to reconcile. Myles has basically put the Cleveland Browns on blast. He did that very, very strategically. If you look at the timeline of this whole thing, everything was strategic. He said what he had to say at the end of the year at the press conference that got everything rolling. Andrew Berry comes out and says, we're not trading him for no price. Basically, you couldn't buy him. He comes out and asks for a trade request, goes on a basically trade tour that entire week leading up to the Super Bowl. The Cleveland Browns come out and say, we still not budging. Myles Garrett, I would be totally shocked if he plays another snap for the Cleveland Browns. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. This channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. It's because of your support I get to do what I do. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. Ladies and gentlemen, don't always believe what you see on YouTube. There's certain foundations and things like that that may or may not be true and have no validity to them at all. So just please do your research before you do anything, especially when it comes to the internet, because what you see is not always what you get. But in my case, it is. You know, you get those people that saw me in person, you know, I'm the same way. It doesn't matter. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.